Would you like to stand or sit? Okay.
Maybe a little. Yeah. Is it tight though, or? Yeah, it should be okay. How's it going, everybody? How's everyone doing today? I was here last time and I talked about how I've been on a journey for sobriety and I managed to get to that point. And then I actually also quit smoking too, which is awesome. Which is also really good though because I have this like immune system condition. So I actually recently had to have one of my lymph nodes removed, which is not a pleasant surgery. But the great thing is like one of the things they told me was that like smoking is the worst thing to do for it. So I'm very glad that I managed to not to quit smoking before the surgery. I am going to try to also share just one poem that I wrote, but I talk a lot. Music is such an important thing to me, but it's funny, I didn't even realize I was wearing the Depeche Mode shirt, but I'm actually named after the band because my parents, when they were trying to think of a name to give their, like me when I was, before I was born, they had like a CD, and the CD had a pamphlet. When they pulled it out, it had all the band members' names at the time, and the band names were Alan, David, Andrew, and Martin. So that's actually, I was technically named after the band. And yeah, so I'll share a poem that I have written, and then I actually have started writing my own book, so I wanted to share some of that as well. But I called this poem The Spinning Wheel. No one really knows what happens after we die, so while we're here, So while we're still here, we should always try. Always strive to live a long, happy life full of fulfillment, or you might look back and regret how things went. Every day we make a lot of choices, just don't listen to those evil voices. You might end up stuck at rock bottom, but when you're truly happy, you got 'em. Life can be bad when you have the perspective, so you always remember to be very selective about the things that you do and say. If you don't like it, there will be a price. If you don't, there will be a price to pay. You might lose sight of the important things. Then one day when the phone finally rings, you realize that you wasted your time trying to avoid it all like a landmine. I really think it's time I confess some things sometimes I don't know how to express. The things that go on inside my brain, I really don't quite know how to explain. My thoughts feel like a spinning wheel. It makes me wonder how I feel, as if my mind is running free when all I want to is just be me. What do you do when your battery is drained and things feel like they've been rearranged? Why is it we work ourselves to the bone just to be left here standing alone? Keep everything you love in your line of sight, and if you lose it, you'll have to put up a fight. Your effort will show in the things you earn, but what really matters is the lessons you learn. Thank you. I called that one the spinning wheel. And then if I have the time, I'm writing another one too, so maybe but I wanted to read some of my book. I don't have a lot of it done yet, so I find the universe to be such an interesting place. Time goes by so fast, and most of it is in the past. Some things are a mystery, but the rest of it is history. I do think time is a very cool thing, especially our understanding and experiences with it. Everyone offers a unique perspective, and I think that's really fascinating. An opinion that I hold about time is that I think, if you think about it, we're all time travelers. We just happen to be moving in the same speed in the same direction. I also think there's a reason why they call it the space-time continuum, too. But ideas and perspectives are all part of our agreed-upon collective understanding of everything, what you could call knowledge. And that's the basis of philosophy. And I think knowledge is power. I don't know if you ever heard of this. I like punk rock. There's this band I love called Operation Ivy. And they were only around for a really short period of time. But one of the favorite songs of theirs is called Knowledge. And the chorus of that song, the lyric is, all I know is that I don't know nothing. Which I think is great. Because there's actually like this philosophy that is like, I used to be like kind of a nihilist, which is like nothing matters or nothing is real. But there's this philosophy called like solipsism or slopolism, which is the idea that like you can't really prove anything except that you exist. Which is kind of like René's Descartes, I think, therefore I am. Like, but how do we know we're not living in a simulation, right? You can't prove that. Who knows? No one knows what happens after we die. But yeah, I think also being open-minded is really important because I think when it comes to being open-minded, though, you can also be too open-minded. So like there are certain things where I have a strong stance on. Like when it comes to a matter of human rights, like if someone tries to say, like I'm open to debating people, but if someone says, like certain groups of people deserve more or less human rights than other people, I don't even want to hear what they have to say at that point. Like, there's certain things where I think you can have an open mind, but I think, you got to hear everyone out. But I think there's some opinions opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one and some of them really stink. But yeah, I think it's really fun to just like, discuss things with people and have other worldviews on their own. Because I think if people live in an echo chamber, that kind of halts the progress of like learning and understanding. People need to be understood and heard, but you need to also sometimes hear other people out, because sometimes it's just a misunderstanding, and then, it can lead to terrible problems, right? Like I don't like organized religion, but I would say myself as a religious person, because I do have a strong belief in what I think about life and the world and existence, and I think it's kind of a personal journey, and that's kind of where I end it, because then I'm going to basically explain like what I think is where I'm moving on to next, is what I think about existence. Do you think I have time to read like one more little short poem? Or okay, well, this is one that I've just kind of started on it. It's kind of so I don't really have a whole lot to it, but he thought he was a sophisticated punk, but honestly, he really kind of stunk. He tried to live his life like it was big, but the truth is he was a filthy pig. He watched the bodies at the morgues collect, even though he swore to serve and protect. He had so many things shiny and new, but he didn't even know how to tie a shoe. He was a rich old man, had anything he wanted, but all his money and jewelry he just flaunted. If you look into his eyes and saw beside his affluent disguise, you'd see for him for who he really was. All right, well, thank you very much. I also started some social media pages, so if you're on Facebook, I have this page called Laugh and Listen with Adam, if you want to check it out.